Once more, here's Eckler. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a first down. The Chargers had 12-3 now on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Well, this defense for the Rams, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Rocky started throwing the football. He's missed now on his first 4 attempts.
I'm eager to see what his demeanor is going to be from this point forward, because the best ones, they missed the first 15 attempts, and they think they're going to hit the next 15. Let's see if he has that type of an attitude.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Charger football to start quarter number 2. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
And score that one for one of the league's best. Jalen Ramsey getting the tackle for loss.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
A Charger first there as Herbert finds Williams.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Rolling to his right. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll be out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Eckler. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
On second and goal, Herbert. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Being chased out left. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Jalen Guyton,
his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
and they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
A big run there, 29 yards and a first. They'll go again here with Akers. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Stafford.
They'll get this to Akers out of the backfield.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Here's Stafford.
Akers back-to-back catches.
And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They snap it to Stafford. Steps away to his left. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Kenneth Murray.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense. I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Trying to punch it in with Eckler. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
They'll run for it with Eckler, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with career touchdown number 60. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And a route is on here in this first half. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. It's Eckler again. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 62 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll try the air now with Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Here we go on 4th down. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to get the football back at their own 17. So it was... Drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them. And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time was well for a solid gain.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on third down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Third and 2, Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Asante Samuel Jr. there finding his way to the ball for a stop and a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 12, Stafford forced out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Now Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
53, ready.
On 4th down, Stafford. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Herbert. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. He'll drop this one off to Eckler, and he's going to get this down near the 25. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Here we go on 4th. Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Now a first down throw. Stafford.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. Finding room at midfield. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw.
And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Stafford.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
85 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Eckler, they run left side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Flush to his right. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
On third down, here's Eckler.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on fourth down. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them.